you wrote an article, 3 players to trade up for in the NFL draft. And this one for the Browns, but guys you think are worth going and getting. So take us through who you had.
Oh, yeah, David Ojabo of Michigan. I think he might be the better of the 2 Michigan edge rushers that are coming out of the draft. Aiden Hutchinson is a tremendous player. He's going to get, obviously the majority of the attention, and he had a better season, but not by much. He had 3 more sacks. They both had double-digit sacks. It was incredible. And then, Hutchinson, they compared him a lot to TJ Watt, which either unfairly, I think it's very unfair to compare anyone to him. I get it, but it's a little bit unfair because he's just an incredible player. But this is a guy who can come in, and if Clowney leaves, and or if he stays, he can either be that rotational piece at the edge, or he can be the new, I guess, Clowney in with Garrett. So, like I said, I think he might be the better of the 2 overall, but he's still young and he's still raw. He's only 21 years old. He only played football for like 2 or 3 years now. So he is sort of a project as well, but I think if the Browns see him at 13, they have to heavily consider him.
The other one that you had is another edge rusher from Oregon, a guy that some people think could go high, Kayvon Thibodeau, and if he goes and slides, you think should jump on that and go up and grab him.
I would trade 13 and 44 for him if possible. If he fell to 5 or 6 or so, I would do that. I say that now, I might change my mind, but I would do that. I think he is actually the best player overall in this draft from different things I've read and different things I've watched. And so he is just a big physical player. And I said earlier, you can't compare someone to TJ Watt. I compared him in this somewhat to Myles Garrett because they have a similar skill set. I'm not saying that he is Myles Garrett or he's Myles Garrett 2.0, but they have a similar build and a similar skill set. And you have that pair on each end. And then maybe if you get Clowney back, you can move him into the interior on certain downs. That is a scary thing for any opponent or for any opposing quarterback. But yeah, I love this kid. I would heavily consider trading up for him. And there's no way he falls past. I don't think he falls past 6. But if the Browns want him and that's their guy, I would trade up in a heartbeat for him.
And then the last thing you say is you trade up for whichever wide receiver Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and the scouting department falls in love with there.
Yeah, like we talked about a couple of times. We talked about earlier. We talked about last week. There are so many good receivers in this draft class that are going to help a bunch of teams and would instantly upgrade this Browns receiving room. You can ask me today who it might be. It could be, Garrett Wilson. We talked about earlier. I don't think they would trade up for Chris Olave. I think they would trade down and maybe get him. But you have Drake London, who is sensational. You have Treylon Burks, who is sensational. You can take a risk on Jameson Williams because he said 5 to 7 months, the doctors told him, and that would put him right about training camp time. So any one of those, if they feel that how the draft is going and they feel that, that's not going their way, hey, we might have to trade up for one of these guys, they can do that if they choose. I'm not saying they will do that, but if they want a certain guy and think, oh, hey, this team might take, a Drake London or a Treylon Burks, hey, I better go trade for him. And unless they have and they also have the option of, hey, if this guy goes, we'll take the next guy.